Hello again, happy Friday. It's the Zen Witch with another unboxing of an oracle deck, and today we are unboxing The Oracle of Shadows and Light by Lucy Cavendish with artwork by Jasmine Becket-Griffith. Last Friday, we did the first in a series of Lucy Cavendish decks with the shapeshifters, so if you haven't watched that, go back to my channel and look at that. But these are decks that are published by Beyond Words / Simon Pulse, which says an imprint of Simon & Schuster Children's Publishing Division. So these were definitely targeted certainly to young adults, not to children. The copyright on this is 2012. Oracle of Shadows and Light. Same thing on the side. Wisdom for misfits, mystics, seekers, and wanderers. And I like the way they spell misfits with M-Y-S instead of M-I-S. Includes 45 cards, 160-page guidebook. No more shall the strangelings hide in the shadows. Welcome to their mysterious world of magic and beauty, where dreams are stranger than reality, but oh so likely to come true when you awaken your own power. Within the Oracle of Shadows and Light, be greeted by grumpy fairies, sassy witches, cheeky ghosts, and brazen beings. Quirky, haunting, and shadowy sweet, these tell-it-like-it-is magical messengers act as your unsettling yet irresistible guides to the diverging paths before you. Discover answers to all your questions, big or small. Develop your inner strength, intuition, and find happiness and belief in the unique and amazing individual you are. Author Lucy Cavendish and artist Jasmine Becket-Griffith present 45 otherworldly cards and an in-depth guidebook which explains the messages of these alluring beings, as well as offering step-by-step instructions on how to give accurate and powerful readings for you and your friends. All you have to do is walk through the veil and enter the magical world of shadows and light. And there's a nice little image on the back there. So Jasmine Becket-Griffiths has a very distinct art style, and they're just beautiful. These, very round faces with the little pointy chin and big eyes, and they're stylized, but each image is unique in itself and very appealing. I find these very appealing. So nice sturdy box. And here, looky, we have a box where, see these little things, these little divots there? This is what they're for. You grab the box and then the lid comes off easily. I've been reviewing a couple tarot decks where they're big boxes and these divots are at both ends where you cannot hold them with your hand. So anyway. Yes, bitch, Luna, we know. Okay, so we got the Oracles of Shadow and Light guidebook. And as I said, the copyright on this is 2012. April. It says 2010, 2012, so it's been gone through 2 publications. And we have a keyhole on the back, which is really nice image. What a great image. These oracle cards, as the last deck of Lucy Cavendish's that I did, don't have reverse meanings. And when you have a deck that has a directional image on the back so you can clearly tell when it's right side up and upside down, a lot of times those decks don't have reverse meanings so that you're intended to keep it upright. And with an oracle deck like this in general, the meanings given for them go a lot more in depth than your basic tarot deck. That little white book in many classic tarot decks has just a group of keywords for upright and a group of keywords for reversed. Some of them don't even have a description of the image. So you get a little more by having an upright and reverse. With oracle cards, they tend to go a little more in depth, and then you don't need a reversed. However, since you're going to be reading these intuitively anyway, hold on. I had on my starry robe, but now I'm getting too warm. If you're reading them and you find that one turns itself around, that's significant. So maybe look at why it did that. It's trying to get your attention. It's saying maybe that what the oracle is telling you, the message that it's giving you, is being inhibited in some way or held back in some way or not heard in some way. So again, use your intuition if things happen to change themselves from the way they usually go. So here we go. Ghost of the Pumpkin Patch. Count your blessings. This is the number 1 card. Look at those lovely faces. They're just... There's a maturity to them, even though they're definitely doll-like, I would call them. There is a maturity to them. If you look at the kind of the makeup on them and stuff, they're not cutesy. I'll say it that way. So count your blessings. Number 2, Fairy of the Divine Hand, intoxication, distorted view, overindulgence. So clearly these are meant for young adults and not children, because if you say intoxication, kids are going to go, "What's that, Mom?" So these are not for children. But look at this image. Look at the eyes. Just amazing. Sea Beacon Fairy, guidance, but where will it lead you? These have, and remember that this is the Oracle of Shadows and Light, so they do have a darker vibe to them. The Shapeshifters is definitely animals and nature spirits. This one is definitely more into the mystic realm, as they said before. Snow Angel, the signs are with you already. I love the key phrases. Think how easy it would be to do a reading where you're laying these things out and it's saying, the signs are with you already. That's a very clear message, just in a phrase. Nicely done. Out trick-or-treating. We're here. Autumn is my last chance. Please don't lose hope is the message. They're very goth. They have a lovely, young, sweet goth vibe. This one is called Poe, and I have to look down here to read it. Time for change. To learn something new, to use technology and gadgets with wisdom. So look at that acknowledgement of the times we're a-living in and how people use technology. Isn't that a wonderful thing? Grumpy Red Fairy, be your true self. That's right. 3 Witchy Sisters, the power of 3. Let's set that one aside to look at. Eclipse Mermaid, a powerful energy shift. Look how beautiful. I mean, you could just fall into them. These are images that are so juicy color-wise, and the darkness to them. I just find them very appealing. Dried Flower Fairy, sweet memories. Winged Seer, you see clearly, clairvoyance. I am Kali. From death comes rebirth. So now we have actual deities, cultural deities showing up. Whereas up to now, it seems like it's been more, literary with Poe and just sort of some mystical, what do I want to say, fantasy creatures with the mermaids and things. Marie Masquerade, glamour, intrigue, drama. Marie Masquerade. So glamour, intrigue, yeah, I mean, they're just really juicy. Mildew Fairy, cleanup time. What a great card for young adults. Look at those boots. I love those boots. Angel de los Muertos transitions to the spirit realm, so another actual cultural reference. Angel de los Muertos, I guess that would be. Strangely lonely, holding on way too tight. There's a Celtic vibe there. Wow, I mean, look at the message there. Strangely lonely, holding on way too tight. There's a whole lecture in that. And I'm not going to start because we got a deck to get through. Maybe I'll set that one aside too. Violet Duchess. Stifled, bored, and stuck. Look at her. She can't. She just can't. She's over it. That's what that face says. Amara the Menehune. Aloha healing. Okay, I was going to say Menehune was my instinct to say it in a Hawaiian pronunciation. And yes, aloha healing. Another cultural reference. Fairy of the Highlands. The Heelands, it's time to be brave. Look at that tartan. Ugh. Oops. Angel of alchemy, miracle. Look at the difference in this face. So the Jasmine Becket-Griffiths is stepping a little bit away from her standard. The faces can be a lot the same, but I guess she does change the shape of them. And so there's variety within her very strong style. That's nice. Voodoo in Blue says back off. It looks like it should say back the fuck off. Look at that. Look at the lips. I love it. Violet Angel, Breaking Dawn. Lantern Fairy, A Clear Solution. Sewer Mermaid, your sensuality is beautiful. Sewer? Okay, so we're kind of coming to talk about sexiness, a sexy aspect, but it's a sewer mermaid. I think I want to see what that one is too. I don't like the association of sensuality and sexuality with the sewer. So hopefully they redeem that. We'll find out. The Three Fates. What comes around? Strange Valentine. Love is strange. Oh, what the hell is that in the background? A blue walrus. Okay, sure. Death and the Maiden. Invasion, boundaries violated, dominance. Wow. That's pretty creepy. I may have to look at that too. I'm pulling out a whole bunch here. I don't think I'm going to look at all of these on camera because there's a lot. What I'm really trying to say here is I need to spend some time with this deck. Don't I say that every time? Jesus. Shallow Grave. You miss someone. Ooh, that's pretty evocative too. Think of a shallow grave. Someone, maybe a relationship is over, but not quite dead and buried, not quite released. Do it there. Okay. Two Little Witches, magical space clearing time. So there's 3 little witches, the power of 3, and now we have 2 little witches, magical space clearing time. Lady with a Bosch egg, like Hieronymus Bosch, ancient wisdom. Sea storm, calm amid chaos. Ooh, look at her. Dress of alchemy, release your power. Faceless ghosts and the haunted girl, ghost people. Very Japanese looking there, those masks. I guess that could be seen as Japanesey, kind of like no theater. Storm Angel, this is the one on the front of the book in the box. Collision of beliefs, styles, attitudes, energies. Mend a broken heart fairy. Healing from heartache. That's pretty explanatory. Candy Cane Angel. Candy Cane Angel, it's time for a treat. You might have noticed that we're kind of stepping through the year here too. We've had Halloween, we've had now Christmas, we've had Valentine's Day. What I really haven't seen is spring. Carnivorous Flower Fairy, a tempting offer has a high price. Maybe that's spring, I don't know. A Clockwork Pumpkin. Maybe there's a lot of holiday stuff just because Halloween is popular with the goth kids. A Clockwork Pumpkin, a wonderful idea, the aha moment. Ooh. Angel of Time, working too hard. Nautilus Princess, powerful personal growth. Look how beautiful. Look at the pearls in her hair. Oh. Yes. Ghosts of the past. The past returns for a time. Pink Lotus Fairy. A time for spirit. Look how lovely that is. And so we have some, they say shadows and light. There's a lot of shadows here, but look how beautiful and luminous that is. Fairy of the green world. The natural world needs you. Witch at the end of the world, an important end, a new beginning. And that's the last of them. So let's take a look at a couple of these. Let's get into the book. Acknowledgements, contents, introduction, and then we go straight into the cards. So I like that, I've got some decks where it's just lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of description and instruction before you get to the cards, and I'm sure there's a lot of value there, but I think most people that are buying a deck and want to read are looking to show me how to use these cards so I can get started. And there's this great acknowledgement of the audience here, of young adults, that yes, they want to get started. They don't want to read through a whole bunch of stuff. Wisdom for Misfits, Mystics, Seekers, and Wanderers. Okay, Misfits, M-I-S. Look on the box here. It says Misfits, M-Y-S, and I love that. It's like a mystical misfit. But they spell it differently in the book. That's too bad. Bittersweet, unheard, unconventional, rebellious, cheeky, whimsical, invisible. They're not words you often hear associated with the spiritual world, are they? Nevertheless, some of the most spiritual beings who've ever lived are those who have been at most at odds with what we call the mainstream. They do not fit in. They've had moments of despair, and they know being truthful and being real is one of the greatest strengths and spiritual paths of all. So with this deck, they ask you to step out from the shadows, to no longer hide your light away, and to consult with an oracle that acknowledges your individuality and strange genius. Likewise, the beings you will discover here are coming out from their own hidden realms too. They have smuggled their wisdom through to us in stories, history, fairy tales, and folklore, but they're as real and as powerful as the glorious ones of the celestial realms. So I'm not going to read this whole thing, but right away, look at how they are setting up a rapport and simpatico with the type of young girl or young female. Anyway, young girl. I can't imagine boys getting this deck, but maybe they will. It's great. Definitely all females in the deck, so you could see it's pointed at young women, young girls blossoming into women. But just that acknowledgement of where they may be right now, of feeling like I'm odd and a misfit and an oddball and I don't fit in with anybody and I'm awkward and all that kind of stuff. Right away, they speak to that and step onto the side of the person that's encountering this oracle, and that's a lovely thing. The beauty of shadows. Let's see here. The assignment of negatives to what we call the dark or shadows has been a massive injustice in many ways. We need both the day and the night, the womb and the birth, the ground and the sky, the above and the below. The dark is not bad, evil, negative, a place of evil demons and fearsome monsters. The dark is the gentle softness of the night, shining out bright starlight through her velvet cloak. The womb of your mother, in which you floated like a mermaid for 10 moon cycles before being born. Okay. The quiet shadows of the earth in which a seed is planted, from this soft, dark place, full of change, power, and energy, new growth can burst forth. So yes, isn't that lovely? The light is a beautiful place to be, yet we all need and have dark within us. We need a dark, restful place to sleep. We must take shelter from the harsh light of the midday sun. Starlight can only be truly seen and sometimes felt at night. The moon shines brightest amid the shadows of midnight. Winter, when there is less light, can be a time of pause and rest. The darkest times of our lives are also the times when the greatest lessons, strengths, and renewal can come. From these challenges which occur within all lives, we break through and learn of our true strengths and individual beauties. This is not to say that these dark times are easy. They are not, but they can create experiences for us that allow us to understand just where our talents lie. Let me share some of my story. I'm going to read a little bit of this. I really, and then there's a section called The Danger of Endless Light. I mean, right away here, this deck is going farther than so many decks made for adults go, with love and light, love and light, love and light, and not acknowledging the balance and the sacredness of the nighttime. So I am really digging this. Okay, her story. When I was very young, I was badly injured in a car accident, taking me out of school for a very long time. I had many operations to recover from and was in pain much of the time. However, something interesting happened while I was in the hospital and during my recovery at home. While my physical sight had been damaged by the accident, my sight, capital S, my inner or psychic vision, had been awakened quite abruptly. I could not see very well, nor could I easily distinguish between people. However, just as my eyes stopped seeing clearly, something else stepped in to assist me. I began to see colors and shapes around people. I could now see, in quotations, people who they were and their energy by the colors and shapes around them. Being in a hospital in a children's ward allowed me to see up close the suffering and heroic journeys many of the children and the staff took together. I saw angels, guides, and loving fae presences around many of the children, healers from the realms of shadows and light, nursing alongside the medical staff with these children. Seeing the other children's courage and the medical team's dedication, I felt my heart grow and swell with compassion more and more each day, and I began to truly understand what was important in this life. So while the accident was challenging and certainly difficult and painful in some ways, well, many ways, it also opened me to a new way of seeing and feeling and deepened my understanding and spiritual sight. So, I mean, how authentic is that? I'm not going to read this next part about the danger of endless light. Oh well, why not? 2 paragraphs. The problem with relentless goodness is perfectly illustrated in the Harry Potter novel and film Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix. It features a wonderfully nasty and it says a wonderfully nasty end character, Hogwarts' horrible new headmistress Dolores Umbridge. Nasty, there was supposed to be something else there, nasty and something character. As she diligently defends rules and regulations, doing everything by the book, she seems the epitome of someone who is, quote, good. She speaks in sweet tones, wears pink, and is surrounded by images of kittens in her office, but in fact she is cruel, unjust, and vindictive. Too often when we claim to be absolutely in the light like Dolores Umbridge, we may have a trunkload of darkness hidden away that needs to be dragged out, flung open, and acknowledged, the process of which transmutes any negatives into wonderful strengths. When we do this, we become a whole person healed. So, I could read this whole thing to you, and I ain't gonna. The beings of shadows and light, talking about the beings in the decks, and they put them in different categories: ghosts, mermaids, ancients, fairies, witches, angels, entities, and historic beings. Where are these beings from? What is the purpose of this oracle? How to approach? What is the difference between an oracle deck and a tarot deck? So really good introductory things for the people that would be attracted to buying this, the young adults here. 5 spreads using shadow and lights, simple past, present, future, a simple Celtic cross, the hidden and revealed spread, the star of love spread, the solve a problem spread, how often to read for yourself, can I read for others using it? So there's a lot of good information. And then we have the card meanings. So what was the first one that I pulled out here? I guess it was card 9, 3 witchy sisters, the power of 3. You see what I'm attracted to, and I flipped the book and it came right open here. These 3 witchy sisters are triplets, and they go everywhere together. Each one of them works with the others to keep their magical knowledge strong and very grounded. And very simple, too. Their hats are designed to connect them to celestial knowledge, all that is said to be above, and when they take them off, they connect to the earth, what is said to be below. They are very, very good at sensing what sort of energy is about, and they often visit people who know that something isn't quite right, but they just can't work out what that is. These sisters are like spooky antennae and use their powerful psychic skills to work out what's really happening. Once they can identify the energy issue, they can then work on an antidote and share the right action with you. And goes on, and then the 3 witchy sisters speak. So this is the same format as the shapeshifters. You have about, you have that oracle speaks, and then the divination message. So let's go. The witchy sisters speak. We can sense around you some strange energy, and we 3 are tuning in so we can identify and explain to you what is happening in a wave of 3. Very clearly, very simply, without any fear at all. Because this problem may not even be a problem, it's simply something you don't understand yet. Let us come in, let us help you, and we'll share exactly what it is. But you must help us by being aware, awake, and alert to what is around you. And the divination message is something that has just happened will happen twice, then 3 times. Something that has already happened twice will happen once more. And something that has happened 3 times is now complete, finished. Farewelled finally by the 3 who are in charge of these 3 strands of fate that repeat in 3s till the lesson is learned. I said something in a little vlog the other day about me and my husband and my son all sitting around a table sewing masks together, and how it reminded me of the 3 fates, who one of them is spinning the thread. Why can't I talk tonight? Damn! One of them is spinning the thread of a life. Another one is measuring the length of that thread, and the third one is cutting for the end of the life. So, so those represent the fates. Let's look at 2 little witches and see what the difference is. And I'll just go straight to the divinatory messages. Magical space clearing time. Out, out, and from within we cleanse this space from trouble and din. Out, out, let all be gone, and make this place a cheerful home. We are here to cleanse and clean. We are creatures in between. We will work from dusk till dawn to ensure energy is reborn. We leave it clear and bright and blank, and for this task we ask no thanks. But we do wish you well in this. May all brought in create your bliss. So that's them speaking. Maybe that's what I'm reading. That's great. So it's time to do a house clearing and a house blessing. That's lovely. So they're very different to each other there. Strangely lonely, holding on too tight. Let's take a look at that one. This one says, divination message. One dilemma with living in a world you feel you must protect is that you fear other people intruding on it, disturbing the delicate balance. So you hold on tighter to whatever you have, or whatever you feel makes you, you. The truth is, your inner world is richer than most, and it's an imaginative paradise or hell, depending on your state of mind. When you receive this card, please let go just a little and notice how this gives you room to interact and engage with loving others. And this therefore helps you recreate your world anew. So it's when you're being so protective, holding on way too tight. So yeah, she's talking about holding on so tightly to something that it's proving to be a barrier between you and others, which is why you feel so alone at times. So, you know, that can also be just something that you're not willing to look at just yet. Something that you're in denial about or not willing to process. Those form barriers too. So that's interesting. So yeah, if we take a real quick nip at these, then we don't have to take up too much time. Where am I at now? Ooh, almost half an hour. Yikes. Okay, sewer mermaid. When the sewer mermaid swims in, she's here to remind you of the treasures you have that you may have labeled bad and perhaps even pushed away, forced underneath. So, yay, she came through. So she is confronting this idea of sensuality and awakening sexual feelings as being labeled bad. That's very nice. We often have negative thoughts that we are too short, too tall, our thighs are too large, our breasts too small, our hair not right, our face not pretty enough. We speak to ourselves in negative ways and we begin to feel we are not good enough. And when this takes place, the result can be that we begin to create negative experiences, blockages, and difficulties. We push people away rather than attract them. So yeah, I'm very, very happy. I mean, I really do like Lucy Cavendish. Okay, divination message. Part of you that is natural and beautiful, most likely your body and appearance, has been influenced by thoughts and ideas about it being unworthy, unhealthy, or perhaps even dirty. So a part of you has had to evolve and exist in a less than healthy way. It is time to clean up your act, not of your natural looks, but of the way you have thought about yourself. Something beautiful has been treated badly. It is now up to you to begin to reframe your ideas and thoughts, and therefore your experiences of yourself, your body, your worth, your ability to attract others, and to see yourself as worthy of love, respect, and consideration. Let this strong survivor mermaid show you how to love yourself and your appearance again and rise above the rubbish and stink of negative conditioning regarding your beautiful body and unique self. You are beautiful and very worth loving. This is the only truth that must be told at this time. Isn't that lovely? How many adult women need to see that card? Which is why I don't shy away from Lucy Cavendish decks, even when they're for, aimed at a child market. Okay, Death in the Maiden, Invasion, Boundaries Violated, Dominance. Let's see. This is, I'm sure, going to be a biggie too. A leering skeleton is looming over a beautiful naked young woman and doesn't seem to have any idea of how its presence is affecting her. It is not aware of and is not interested in her response, her reality, or her needs. The skeleton represents true death, the relentless ego, and is way too close for comfort. The vulnerable young woman is cowering and feeling herself frozen as its unwanted hand touches her. Okay, she is really stepping into some real issues here, and I'm very happy about it. And then we have them both speaking. Death speaks and the Maiden speaks. And yes, I'm going to read this whole thing. Death speaks. I am full of needs. I am hungry for life force. I need to be close to this young one as she has all that I long for and all I have not created for myself. I will simply hover about her and take from her that which I want. Her warmth, her energy, her emotions, and her beauty. She is an extension of me. What I want, I will take, and I love her too, very much. So much, I may just consume her entirely. The Maiden speaks. I thought this was love, but now I can see and feel that this is invasive. It says it cares for me, and yet it just seems to want to take from me. This no longer feels right, but I feel helpless and vulnerable. What can I do? How do I break free? And what if what it says is true, that it loves me, and I am fearful for no reason? Divination message. There is a very out of balance relationship between you and another at this time. I like that they don't make this an actual person, but they personify, they use a skeleton here. Okay. It may be that you are death, taking too much and imposing on another, and all the while blind as this skeleton to the truth. Or it may be that you are the maiden and have no defenses against another who is draining you, claiming all the while to love you. You may have been drawn into the drama and color and entertainment of a relationship that is full of highs and lows and passion, but you are now discovering that it is tiring, draining, and lacking in respect. It is time to truthfully assess this relationship and take steps to be safer, more protected, and more respected. Do not attempt to convince death of its problems. Wow, that one right there. Do not try to convince this person of their problems. Whoops, wait a second. Went back to it. Okay, those real people will only draw closer, cling harder, and convince you that you have a problem, not them. You may feel fear as to what they will do once you separate from them, as they are vindictive and malicious. Freedom is worth the trial of separating. Ask yourself, is this relationship healthy for me? If the answer is no, then you must take steps to go. Lucy, 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 you are a blessing. You are a blessing to all women everywhere. Young women, old women, me, I'm no spring chicken. I'm like a stewing chicken. And this is really getting me. So I'm yes to this deck. Yes, emphatically to this deck. This is kind of like the Dark Mirror Oracle that I had, that's definitely very adult and absolutely deals with the shadow and deals with grief and the stages of grief. And this one, even though we've got, let's go to that Lotus Fairy and see, because she seemed to be a lighter. Here we are, the Pink Lotus Fairy, number 43. I'll find her again for you. There. She is a time for spirit. So let's see what this one says. We've looked at, the shadows. Now let's look at some light. You may love your guilt-free rants, staying up too late and happily behaving badly, but you're about to balance all that out with some very powerful new spiritual teachings and connections. You're about to meet a wise one who seems very still, very slow, and very peaceful. She'll be tranquil and serene and immersed in a path that until now has felt too slow or foreign for you. But this teacher, who's represented by the Pink Lotus Fairy, will assist you in finding more of your soul's true wisdom. I really like the way the cards are pointing to real people in your life. You know, a real relationship, negative attitudes that you have within yourself, but saying, you know, rather than pin everything on this imaginary being and start creating things, you start looking out in your life for a teacher, you know, an actual teacher and mentor. So that, I think that's a really healthy thing too. Divination message: spiritual quest, travel, calm, relaxed yoga pose, self-love and self-acceptance, third eye and crown chakra activation, chakra awakening, connection to all, crown chakra connected to the universe. Okay, but all this, it just lists a bunch of things, and then it says time, and like showering. Oh, blessings showering upon you, not just taking a shower. Whoops. Blessings showering upon you due to correct relationships with body and soul. Time to take a class, course, or new study program. Time to welcome in a new teacher, either in the form of a physical being or perhaps a path that speaks to your heart at this time, or a spirit guide who resonates with you. Know that while this path and tranquil, easeful philosophy may seem out of character for you, it is a deep and true part of yourself that has long yearned for acknowledgement, fulfillment, and the nirvana that is on its way. So how lovely. And in the beginning, it talks about meditation and exercise and mantras and all of the things that can be meditative and bringing those. So it certainly has a unique message with each and every card. And, you know, when I'm looking at things and presenting these to you and I read something and it makes me verklempt, and this deck has klempted me up a couple of times now, that's a really good sign that something is, as one of my viewers said about the Russian Gypsy deck, that deck is really connected to spirit. And yes, that's what it is. That it's a true vehicle and spirit comes through these images. So obviously, in reading a little bit of Lucy Cavendish's story, going through that as a young child and having her vision taken mostly away, opened up her inner vision. So she's a true vehicle. And thank you, Lucy Cavendish, for putting your talents to work for the younger women and not making them wait until they've got a lot of shit to undo before they connect with spirit and learn about being a witch. I love it. Yes, good deck. You know, can you shuffle it? Probably. Oh, looky, you can. So I can take, I can get my long ass spider fingers around this deck, and not that long. And look, you can shuffle it. Whoop. Cool. Least of my worries. It's a fabulous deck. Stick around next Friday because I have, I think, 3 more Lucy Cavendish decks to go. And I'm going to do them bang, 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 bang right in a row. So stay tuned for more wonderful Lucy Cavendish. I'm really grateful that you showed up today to watch this. I'm really grateful I'm over 100 subscribers, or 400 subscribers now. Slow and steady. I am grateful for each and every one of you. I actually have to retrofit my videos for this, but I now have a donation button. There's a link below that will take you to my Streamlabs donation button. And if you have $1 or $3 to throw my way to support my work, I really, really appreciate it. As I appreciate you, as I hope you are staying safe and healthy in the middle of our pandemic. Stay home, take care of yourselves, keep others safe as well. This is the Zen Witch. I will be seeing you on Monday with another tarot unboxing video. Like and subscribe. I'll see you next time. Blessed be.